Welcome back to Dmac Mad Gaming. I'm your host Dmac, and here we believe gaming is a lifestyle, not a hobby. Welcome back, guys. And today we're talking about Capcom's newest release game for March 8, 2019, and that's Devil May Cry 5. And I gotta tell you, I've been playing Devil May Cry 5 for a couple of days now. Love it. Got it for the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's a true Devil May Cry experience for me. It's everything I expected the Devil May Cry game to be from Capcom. They delivered on it, and I'm really happy. And half the gaming community feels the same way as I do, while the other half feel like Devil May Cry 5 has lost its heart. It doesn't have the heart of the previous Devil May Cry games. And they express that on Reddit, Twitter, in the YouTube community, in news articles and things like that. And I just want to talk about them things that they've been expressing on why they feel like Devil May Cry 5 has lost its heart. So let's begin. So one of the things they feel that made Devil May Cry 5 not like its previous entries is the length of the story. Now, when they said that, I was kind of like, are you a true Devil May Cry fan? Have you played all the Devil May Cry entries up to Devil May Cry 5? Have you really sat out and played them? Because Devil May Cry 1 was only 6 hours long, and Devil May Cry 2 was only 6 hours long. If you did everything like learn the styles and did all the unlockables, you got another maybe 2.5 hours out of the game. Now, Devil May Cry 3 was a little bit longer, but there's a reason for that. Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening was a little bit longer. It was 12 hours. And the reason why it was 12 hours is because they was telling a backstory of Dante, telling what the character, how did the character develop to who he is and the way he behaved and how he interact with others and demons and things like that. And if you wanted to play a little bit longer with all the styles and unlockables, you got another 2-3 hours, so maybe 4 hours out of the game. Devil May Cry 4 was about Nero, and it was telling his backstory, and it's the reason why that game was 12 hours long. And if you want to do all the unlockables, things like that, it was an extra 2.5 hours. That's the standard for Devil May Cry games. They've never been really long in narrative, and the narratives have never been structured where it takes itself serious. It's always been fun and entertaining and laughable, but they can get serious in certain moments in the game. And so I don't understand where they're coming from with this. I don't know if they truly are Devil May Cry fans, hardcore fans, because I don't see what they're talking about here. And the next thing they was complaining about was one of the characters from Devil May Cry 5, V. He's another character. You play 3 characters in Devil May Cry 5, Dante, Nero, and V. Now, V play style is totally different from Dante and Nero's because he doesn't do any fighting. He has his familiars. A panther and a bird do the fighting. Some giant monster that he has does the fighting. And some of the gamers in the gaming community feel like it doesn't stay true to the Devil May Cry gameplay core, where it's about juggling and knocking enemies up and down in the air and doing amazing styles. And a lot of people feel like when you play as V, you get SS ratings really easy without any effort. And they feel like that kind of takes away from the enjoyment of playing the Devil May Cry game. Because in previous entries, Devil May Cries were really hard. A lot of the boss fights was intense and frustrating. And a lot of times when you fought enemies that outnumbered you, it took you a little practice and play. It took a little practice. You had to put a lot more time into it to be able to pull out some of the amazing styles. And I feel like Devil May Cry 5 with V in it, it kind of takes away from that. I have to disagree. I'm a big Devil May Cry fan. I'm not hardcore, but I'm a big fan. I played all the entries. And Devil May Cry 1 was hard. Devil May Cry 2 was hard. But you could have some type of assistance that allows you to play without being frustrated so much. And I feel like this Devil May Cry 5 is the same way. They added something different from the previous Devil May Cries. They had auto assistance where the computer helps you pull off extreme hard combos, and some people feel like that take away from the enjoyment of playing the game altogether. Now, in my opinion, I don't feel like it does. If you don't want that, don't take it off, and you don't have to play with the auto system, and it'll be just like any other Devil May Cry guy you playing. But I do have to agree with them on one aspect of Devil May Cry 5. It's not as extremely difficult as Devil May Cry 1. Oh my god, that game was so difficult. But it was several reasons why. The camera angle was everywhere. A lot of times it didn't stay in focus where you was fighting a bunch of enemies and juggling and things. So it was tricky like that. Devil May Cry 5 it has some no problems as well, but not as it's not as was word like before prevalent in Devil May Cry 5. They kind of fixed a little bit of that in Devil May Cry 5, but the Devil May Cry 1 was absolutely frustrating with the camera angle. And I think that's what made that game so difficult. Devil May Cry 2 didn't have much of a camera angle too much. It fixed it a little bit. It made it a little bit easier to do a lot of the combat and combos without losing yourself in the midst of all the enemies, things like that. Devil May Cry 3, same way. Devil May Cry 4, same thing. And when they did a reboot of Devil May Cry, DMC Devil May Cry, the camera angle wasn't that bad in that game, and you was able to move around and do things without really having that camera angle problem. So I don't agree with them on parts of V being a too easy of a character and it defeats the whole experience of the Devil May Cry game because it doesn't. And a lot of journalists in the gaming community have really been really vocal about that. The V hinders the combat system of Devil May Cry 5 and makes it too easy, doesn't give you a challenge, things like that. And I understand that's their opinion. That's what they perceive it to be. The majority of the gaming community don't feel like that. I mean, this is a small minority, but they need to be heard as well because we are a community. We hear everyone's opinions about things and we discuss it. And that's what I'm doing in this video because I don't feel like V hinders the gameplay experience at all. It's still a Devil May Cry game. They just added something different in the game to make it have more variety. And I think that's awesome because they're trying to appeal to a bigger fan base. They're trying to get more people into the series. And I think that's wonderful for Capcom. And they have delivered on that. And I don't see why people were making a big deal about it. Now, as far as the difficulty with the settings, they were also complaining about. I have to agree with them on some points. It's not as hard as the previous entries, but that again is because they're trying to broaden the horizon of the game. They're trying to broaden their horizon. They're trying to get out to other gamers. They're trying to get other gamers to be interested in this particular series, hack and slash series, and I think it's awesome. I mean, I didn't have no problems. I had some interesting test fights on difficulties that was higher than human, and I didn't have. It was challenging. It wasn't extremely challenging. I think this goes more to the hardcore fans of the series that enjoyed that challenge, enjoyed that accomplishment of beating a difficult boss because they used their smarts and the combat system to their advantage and came out on top with stylish points. And I think that was a badge of honor for them. So I understand where they're coming from that point, but I still don't think that it's too easy where a hardcore player could play it and finish it in one sitting. I don't think that's true. Now, the gamers I know that are hardcore fans of the Devil May Cry series enjoy the combat. They say it wasn't really challenging, but it was fun enough, and they happy with that. So I don't know. The small minority of gamers out there are just not happy with Devil May Cry 5 because they've been spoiled with other games and series where the story structure was a little bit longer and the gameplay mechanics stayed the same. I mean, you got to change it up. 2019, Capcom knew that they was making a new Devil May Cry game, and they just stepped up the game a little bit. And I think they did. The combat system is refined, had different varieties of combat you can use. I mean, Nero uses a prosthetic arm that does different attacks. Dante has a motorcycle he fights with, a blade, nunchucks, and stuff like that. So I don't think that they left anything out, and I don't feel like Devil May Cry 5 has lost its heart at all. I don't see it. And from my perspective, it really is a Devil May Cry game and it has all of its heart. And that's how I feel about this whole situation. But I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you feel like the other half of the gaming community is right? Devil May Cry lost its heart. It's not like the previous entries, or do you feel that it is and you having a great time with it? Have you played Devil May Cry? Are you interested in playing it? I recommend playing Devil May Cry 5. If you can't afford it right out, get it from Redbox. I mean, Redboxes are everywhere. For $3 to $7, I think for $3 you get it for one night. For $7, I think it's for 3 nights. I think it's $7. I mean, rent it and play it. It's a great experience. You won't regret it. It's worth that little extra money just to get your hands on it. It's a fantastic game. I really recommend playing it. It's a really good time. You have a lot of fun with it. It'll make you laugh a whole lot as well. Because Devil May Cry never been a serious series. It always been lighthearted and funny. Never takes itself serious. And I think it's something that you gamers will enjoy. So I recommend checking it out. And as always, thank you for staying to the end of the video. I really appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. Helps out the channel. Make sure you share. It also helps out. If you want to see more content from your boy, Dmac, make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe button to be notified of more content. Stay safe. Keep gaming. I'm out. I'll talk to you guys later.